Hey everybody, welcome back to our Minecraft 1.18 Amplified Survival World. I hope you're all having yourselves a wonderful day. I thought I'd turn on shaders today and see what our world looks like with them on, and my goodness, I am absolutely blown away. Like, check out this starter house right here. Gorgeous! The wheat field down there. Gorgeous. The cows. Gorgeous. Well, maybe not really. The volumetric fog. Gorgeous. Ah. It's so gorgeous. It's all gorgeous. Anyways, what do you guys think of shaders? Do you like shaders? Do you not like shaders? It's kind of an acquired taste for me. For me, I don't really build in shaders, but I love taking photos and thumbnails, screenshots with them. But I don't like playing with them. That's the only thing. So the other night I was playing Minecraft and I got kind of carried away. Yes, as you do. And I terraformed and I built a whole bunch of stuff over here on the right-hand side where the temple is. I don't have any recording for this. The replay mod decided that it wasn't going to record, thankfully. That's sarcasm. So I built these ruined retaining walls that are at different levels, different elevations with puddles and ponds. So this is really great and all, and I like the shapes, but we've got a problem, and it looks very naked. The grass has nothing on it. There is just nothing. I mean, it's boring. So I figured I'd put off the detail work until we get to an episode because I want to talk a bit about how I go about doing detailing in a project like this. And at the same time, I also want to add a large temple that's kind of right in the middle here, and it's kind of crumbling down and falling into this ruin. I mean, this whole area is going to be ruined eventually, so we may as well add something that's, you know, ruined in here as well. Yeah, so before we get started, let's just go ahead and turn off the shaders. I was using complementary shaders, by the way, if you're curious. All right, so the first thing I'd like to sort out is where we're going to put this abandoned temple. And I'm thinking right about here, right in the middle, sort of the whole thing. And I want to go for a shape that's like a circle. All right, so we got to build the base of this tower first, and it's going to mainly consist of the same blocks that we've got in the side of the retaining walls. All right, so this is going to be our foundation here, but I want to build a pathway, because if this is a ruined temple, there's got to be like a reason or a way to possibly get in here. So I'm thinking the pathway will kind of go something around like here. All right, so I got the main shape going here. There's going to be a pathway in behind it, which will eventually lead to a walkway in the back side here, connecting up to here, right where this is, and we'll do some sort of staircase going up. And then on this side, we're going to have a flat wall, but these here are going to be arches, and we're going to continue this on further and perhaps put like one more here, and it's going to be all ruined and like crumbled over top of this pathway. 7, 8, 9, and then right here will be the last one. All right. Well, I've spent a bit of time making sure that the arches are all a bit more archy. And now it is time to focus on this centerpiece of the area, which is this tower here. We do have a second tower in behind here, though. This is not going to be the centerpiece. It'll be sort of in the backdrop. We've also got a walkway, proper walkway leading up to there, and a nice bridge going across. So it's time now to get this part of the build done, and I don't really have that much of a plan, to be honest. What I'm thinking we'll do is just kind of go with the flow, as I have been this whole time. But this isn't going to be as exciting for you guys to watch, so cue the time lapse. All right, there we have it. The temple has all been detailed, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. I really like the moss details with the cobblestone and the brick. The sort of gradient between the solid green color of the moss into the brick, which is a bit more gray, I think works really, really nicely. And then over here, we've got a bunch of man-made scaffolding, which is a very similar thing that we did to over there in the bigger temple. Actually, looking at the temple now, it makes me really want to add moss into it. So oftentimes when I do like ruined temples and stuff, I tend to use oak leaves and such to give a bit more, you know, detail and such. The problem that I have though with these oak leaves is they're a bit too saturated for my taste. So this is a bit more green, and that's a bit more of like a washed out green look. And I prefer the washed out green look, at least in this build. All right, enough blabbering on. It's time we're gonna do some detail work. And I said before that I want to talk us through how we're gonna do that. Now, each pass through this area is gonna consist of a couple of different things. So first and foremost is gonna be the moss. We're gonna replace a bunch of the ground with moss, and then we're gonna add carpets, just moderately carpet it. And then we're gonna add azalea bushes into different spots like this. Then the second pass, we will come through and we're gonna add tall grass. We're gonna add some tall grass. We're gonna take some bone meal. We're gonna bone meal the tall grass, making sure not to bone meal any of the moss because, you know, moss can destroy stuff, right? And then the final pass is going to be sugar cane and drip leaf. So we're gonna have some drip leaves in the sides here. Now, I'm sure you guys already know this, but the drip leaves, you can kind of parkour on them. So what I'd really like to do is get a parkour course kind of set up throughout this whole area. When I do massive like changes and transformations in areas, I find it's a lot easier to go through slowly, like one block at a time. And this especially like applies if you're doing interiors for houses. Oh man, I hate doing interiors for houses, but if you have to do something like that, if you've, you know, bit off that much, it's best to just go at it slowly and do it in different phases. So your brain is only focusing on one thing at a time. I'm sure some people probably find that pretty obvious, but if you've never actually done a large scale project like this, that's kind of how I do it. Okay, I think it's pretty obvious at this point what's going to happen next. We're going to go through with moss, carpets, and then, you know, do the next, do sugarcane, do grass, do everything, and azalea bushes and all that. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up, and I'll be right back. All right, guys, well, there's the build all finished, all detailed up, and I think it looks pretty good. I'm quite happy with that. I think this is going to be a palette or a template for what we're going to do for the rest of the area. Like they say, right? Rome wasn't built in a day, and certainly this project is not built in a day either. It's built over several months. Just before we go into the next project here, I want to show you the drip leaf parkour that I built. So we've got some drip leaves now to get all the way up to the top. Aha! And then this, which, oh, I guess we can't. We can't go all the way up. Can I? Oh yeah, I can. Okay, perfect. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna spend a bit of time now building some pathways because I ask myself before I do every episode, what is causing me the most amount of trouble? What is it that I want to fix, or what do I want to build? It just so happens that paths are probably the most annoying thing in this world right now. So you see down there we got the village, right? I've built this staircase to get from the villager breeder down there all the way up top here. All right, so the first path that I'd like to get done is this one here to the iron farm over there. I'm thinking it's gonna go like all the way stretching around, kind of make some sort of makeshift bridge over top there. Over here we've got the waterfall that's right next to our spawn house up there. We could do something like over top of this, would be kind of neat. I don't have any plans for this area as of right now, but I do like this for like a lookout point. And since the farm is just temporary, we maybe won't put as much effort into it. If I told you that that right there was what we just built, would you believe me? That looks pretty like normal. All right, the next step now is to build up that plot right there. All right, I put the path in and I got some fences put down. We just have to worry about this here bridge across the waterfall. And actually, before we do that, I just noticed it is day 300 on the world. For context, those 1,000 day videos in Minecraft, that's a long time. That's a really long time. You see how much we've done in 300 days, and can you even imagine what we could do in 1,000? Well, there we go. The bridge is all done. Here's what we got going. Nice little stairs and slab staircase going down. A little bit of a dip in the bottom here, and then it kind of just rounds itself out. Aha, well that doesn't look too bad. I mean, the dip isn't really natural. It's kind of This isn't going to be a super permanent build. I don't really know what I'm doing with this spot yet, so it could change. It very likely will change. And one thing I want to show you guys at the iron farm that I did in between episodes, I thought this is kind of cool, is I put a composter so that all of the flowers get composted immediately. All it is just a simple item sorter, so when a poppy, you know, comes from the golem and it goes across this hopper, this here is just an item filter, so it'll pick up the poppy and then directly down into the composters. All right, time now to build a couple more paths, and oh, my voice has changed, hasn't it? Yes, it has been a day or two. I have been pondering what to do next with these paths, and I'm thinking we're gonna leave this one. I know, as ugly as it looks, we're gonna leave it. As ugly as that looks, we are also gonna leave it. And as ugly as all of this looks, we are also going to leave it. I think in a coming episode, we're going to revamp this villager breeder and stuff, make it a bit more official and built into the base. Because if we look at what we've been building so far, right, we've got just a bunch of disjointed projects that don't really feel very cohesive, at least to me right now. So we've got a bridge, we've got a temple, and we've got the big temple over there. Well, there's really no functionality. It's all just form. We could add some functionality. Perhaps we could add some villager breeder and stuff to it. So instead, the path that we're going to build is one water elevator, and it's just going to go up to right there. So I'm going to find a spot, perhaps like right here. It's just going to be a bubble column. And as it turns out, we don't have any soul sand. So let's head on into the nether. And we got a wither skull. That is why I hit record. I thought we might get one, so yep, there we go. All right, there's the path. Oh, what path? Yeah. Yeah, it's in behind that hill over there. So what I'd like to do now, I know I said I wasn't going to do this, but we're going to put a path in. a very makeshift path, okay? It's going to be very makeshift. Like, boom, there, that's done. So I'd like to do something just very basic, just, you know, stairs and slabs to get us up here, because running back and forth and pressing spacebar, oh, it does do a number on the thumb, doesn't it? If you can have it easy, why not, right? Cool, cool. There is the path all done. Nice and fancy. Forgot a block right there. Oh, and right there and there. Okay, that feels a lot better. If I could instill a life lesson in this episode, it would be do the hard things first. I mean, just get it done. I've been procrastinating this, and you know, look at this. It only took me 5 minutes to put this path together, and I will enjoy this path for the rest of eternity. So I no longer have to walk up a dinky staircase like that one. We're going to keep it, though. The memories are too fond. Alright, everybody, if you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for watching. That's going to wrap up this episode, but before we do that, I'd like to read a comment to you all that I thought was really good, and it is perhaps the inspiration behind today's episode. So the comment comes from King Z. Are you going to make the bridge ruined too? Z, it was actually your comment that inspired me to do the parkour stuff down at the bottom there. What we worked on today was this giant temple down there. It was your comment that made me think, you know, I could do something with this. I could really make something cool. I could make ruined, and then I could do parkour. In Z's comment, I only included the question part of it, but he talked about making the bridge a bit more ruined and having one of these pillars fallen down, and I think that's a great idea. I really do. I like that idea, and we're probably going to do something with that in the future once I figure out what I'm going to do with that space over there. And I did clear out the rest of it down to the water, and I just flooded it, so yep. Well, that's going to do it, everybody. Thank you again to Z for the comment, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next episode. Have yourselves a wonderful day, everybody. Bye-bye.